I am Iva Wilcox and I love making spun cotton ornaments and figures. I enjoy sharing what I've learned over the past 15 years as a spun cotton artist. I'm here to talk about armatures. When you're creating with spun cotton, you need to have some sort of base or form to put the cotton on, or rather some kind of armature. In my video, It All Starts with Cotton, I mentioned the word armature many times. And I wanted to dive deeper into that topic so you get a better understanding of the different types of materials that are used as an armature. Some of the materials used today to form spun cotton armatures include wire, pipe cleaners, chipboard, paper wrapped wire and floral wire, aluminum foil, masking tape, styrofoam, pressed cotton shapes, and you get the idea. There's a lot of different bases that you can use to make a spun cotton piece. In the 19th century, spun cotton pieces were formed around wire or chipboard and even sawdust that was compressed and held together with glue. Additionally, some cotton shapes were made from pressing the cotton into molds, and that would create a tightly formed cotton shape. Many of these methods are still used today, except for maybe the sawdust. But there's a whole slew of other materials that you can use to create a spun cotton armature. Let's look at some of these. One of the armatures I use is floral wire. It's, I believe, 19 gauge, and I get it at the hobby store. It's in the floral section. Another armature I use is this thick paper wrapped wire, and it's great for trees. There's the pipe cleaners, which come in various qualities. These are true cleaners for pipes, whereas the ones at the hobby store are thin and more flexible. But I have used these for tails, and I might use these for legs. I will also use them as a base for like a head. There's also the cloth wrapped wire, which I've used because it's very thin and it's also very sturdy. I've used it here because I wanted one continuous wire throughout the body, and the nose is very thin. Another type of armature that I use is crumpled paper. And I'll take some of the paper that might be found in packages that I've received or newsprint. And depending on the shape I want, I will crumple the paper up. If I want a cat with an arched back. And then I will take my masking tape and wrap it around to create a more smooth surface. So the masking tape just smooths out the crumpled paper. Now, the other way I use the masking tape is I will take it, cut it into a small strip, take a pipe cleaner, and then I might put the legs over the top, cut it, but I will then attach the pipe cleaner to the armature via masking tape. So that could be the front legs, the back legs. I like using crumpled paper because I can take a paper piercing tool, which is a long, like needle tool, and once I've covered this in cotton and I've let it dry, if I want to add a tail, I just take the paper piercer, go through the dried cotton and into the paper, and glue will hold really well inside the crumpled paper. Another base or armature that a lot of artists will use is crumpled aluminum foil. And if you want to make a body, cover it with the masking tape, which makes it a little smoother, and then keep covering the whole thing with the masking tape, and then cover it with cotton. So another type of armature is cardboard. And here you can see I've cut out some legs for a larger cat. And these are made out of cereal box. The other kind of cardboard I use are cardboard tubes, recycled tubes. This is a recycled toilet paper tube, and this makes a great base for a tree. An important material that I use when making my spun cotton pieces is stiffened cotton batting. And stiffened cotton batting basically is the batting that you get, cotton batting that you get for quilting. And basically you just cut a sheet of it, and what I do is I will brush it with my glue mixture and it becomes stiff. So this can be used in many different ways. I use it for ears, I might use it for wings, all sorts of the brims of hats. That's probably what these were from, my snowmen. To make the stiff cotton, I put down a piece of wax paper and I mix up a glue mixture of half PVA glue and half water. I mix that really well, and then I brush it on the cotton batting, really soaking it so that it gets wet, and then I just let it dry. Another type of armature is a styrofoam ball. Typically, I will put my glue mixture on the cotton and then wrap the ball and put the cotton over it. I do not like putting the glue mixture directly on the ball because sometimes these little pieces of styrofoam come off on my brush and then they'll get into my glue, and the little pieces won't paint. So if you're looking to paint something and you get little flecks of styrofoam in your glue on the outer coat of your piece, you'll find that those pieces aren't going to paint, and you're going to wonder why there's a little white speck there, and that's maybe because it was a piece of the styrofoam that got stuck in your glue. Styrofoam balls are great for heads, so if I do use a styrofoam ball, I might make an ear. And then cover that and make another ear, and it really is a nice way to start forming like a cat's face. An armature I use a lot are these spun cotton pressed balls that you can purchase on Etsy and from various websites, and I will use these as little heads for my characters. So when I make a wire body like this, if I want to make the head a certain shape or perfectly round, I will fill out the body with cotton, let it dry, and then compress that loop I made for the head, and then put that inside, glue it, and then I will then put another layer of cotton over this so it forms seamlessly with the rest of the body. Something else is, instead of that as pressed cotton, I will use a cotton ball and really make it a tight shape. And then I will stuff this inside these little wire bodies. So it's a little plump, he's got a little plump belly. And then wrap my cotton around it to maintain that shape, and just fill out where I need to. So as I said earlier, there are all kinds of materials that you can use when creating an armature for spun cotton. And really it's up to you and what you feel comfortable with in using. Sometimes, as I said, the piece might dictate the type of armature you're going to use. Thank you for spending the time with me to learn more about armatures for spun cotton. And remember, if you have any questions, please let me know and comment. Thank you again, and happy creating.